Jen Morris here. For today, we have our warm-up. It says workout 29. Our warm-up today is going to be 3 rounds of 30 jumping jacks, 20 mountain climbers, and then some alternating leg V-ups on the ground. So just kind of a general warm-up. I'm going to teach you guys today a skill. It's called the power clean. The power clean is one of the lifts that we do in Olympic weightlifting, and we're going to do this basically virtually or with our PVC pipe. Okay, so we're going to start building on this, and we're going to eventually be doing cleans and jerks with dumbbells. And we're going to do a glute series today. So we're going to do some glute bridges, some bird dogs, and some stationary lunge squats. This is going to be a butt burner. It's going to be good. So we'll do a bunch of reps of those. And then our workout today is a timed workout, which means that you will be working probably at a different pace than me. And we're going to do 4 movements throughout this movement. This is called a push-pull kind of workout. So we're going to be doing some sumo deadlift high pulls. We're going to need our PVC pipe for this. We're going to do some push press, which I will show you with our PVC pipe. Bent over rows. Now here, guys, you can grab some dumbbells if you have them, or kettlebells, or like those big laundry detergent jugs, or anything like even soup cans or something. Books would work as well. So that's a pulling movement there. And then we're going to do some push-ups, and then we're going to do something called a butt kicker, just for a little bit of cardio added in. Okay, let me flip this back and put the phone away here. Sorry for my thumbs. So you guys ready? I'm going to start the music, and we are going to do our warm-up. So we're going to start with 30 jumping jacks. Here we go. 30 jumping jacks. My camera down here. So coming onto the floor, you're touching your opposite hand to your opposite foot. Bring up as much as you can. We're just Awesome, awesome. So guys, just FYI, music today from my good friend, Jackie Manny's son, Joseph Manny, who's also my good friend. And he is the Priceless Gnome on SoundCloud. I have his permission to use that music. I just need to make sure I say that on every video so it doesn't get muted. So if you have SoundCloud, or if you don't have SoundCloud, go get it. It's a pretty cool app. Lots of music on there, lots of cool mixes. And you can follow Joseph on there and see all his cool music. He's got some pretty neat stuff. Whew. Okay, so let's do a little bit of stretching. So I'm gonna have you guys grab your broomstick. Hopefully you have one. If you don't, I'll kind of give you a few little options. So we're gonna start with what are called pass-throughs. So you're gonna start with your arms nice and wide on this. The goal here, guys, is to keep your arms straight and bring that PVC pipe or broomstick all the way to the back. I'm just gonna see the comments here in case anybody has any comments. There we go. Now, if you cannot do this with your arms straight, if you have shoulder mobility issues, take your hands as wide as you can, just to start there, okay? Now, if that is easy for you, what I want you to think about, guys, is keeping your core tight and really like squeezing your bum. So you shouldn't be in this like super arched position. Think about tucking your butt under and then bringing that PVC pipe over. You'll find if you tighten your core, your mobility actually increases, and that's because your body's not dumb. Your body's trying to protect you from you. So it wants your core to be tight when you're moving, okay? So for those of you who are Gumby, you can start to, if you don't know who Gumby is, then you're not old like me. You can start to bring your hands closer until you cannot pass through anymore. Okay, so this is about my limit. And then if I try to bring them in closer, I can go there. But don't dislocate your shoulders, please. Just moving those shoulders, okay? Now, if you do find your limit, you can bring that PVC pipe back or broomstick back and just kind of hold this nice stretch. Again, keep your abs down, like your rib cage should not be flared up like this, okay? So you shouldn't look like you're in an arch. Your back should be straight because you're squeezing your bum and keeping your abs tight. Awesome. Okay, so shake that out. Taking that PVC pipe, and we're actually going to go all the way around. And you notice here, it's touching my back as I turn around. I'm trying to actually really focus on keeping my glutes tight and my abs connected here. So again, you don't want to be in this like super arched position. That's not safe for your back. Let's go the other way. Trying to bring it all the way around. Yes, there's some natural curvature to the spine. That's called lordosis. It's normal, but you don't want it to be what we call hyperextended. All right, let's put that PVC pipe on our back. Bring your hands in nice and close, so please don't smack the back of your head here. We're just gonna press straight up and lock those arms up overhead, okay? So if you're finishing here, you're not doing it right, you wanna push up like you're really trying to push something heavy. And guys, in this overhead position, same thing. Squeeze your bum, ribs are down. I shouldn't look like this, okay? No arch in the back. Take that arch away by squeezing your butt, keeping your abs tight. Coming down to the back and straight up. Down and up. Down and up. So that PVC pipe should be moving straight up over my head. Now, those of you that have shoulder mobility issues, you might look like this. You might have a really hard time here, and that's normal, but it'll come with time. So we're gonna work on something called a push press today, and where your hands are very important so that you don't hurt your shoulders. Okay, let's just use this on the back of our back here. So please don't put this on your neck, on your shoulders. Hands are relatively wide, soft bend in the knees, rotating, getting in a nice rotation. Now, obviously, if you didn't have a broomstick, guys, that's okay. You can just do regular rotations. You can do virtual presses, and you can do arm circles. Okay? Good stuff. All right. So I'm going to do something called around the world now, all the way down and all the way up. So I'm going to keep my chest up as much as I can, bring that PVC pipe to the middle of my shins, and I'm going to go all the way around. So making big torso rotations here. I'm going to go 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times in the other direction. Good stuff. All right, let's just use this for balance. Taking one leg, making some big leg swings. Good, good, good. If you don't have the PVC pipe, you can just hold on to the wall, or you could have just done some big rotations there. It's not a huge deal. Switch legs, big hip swings here. Don't worry about how high you're going. Just try to take that tension out of your hips by making these big swings. Come back to that first leg now, making some hip circles out and around, out and around. Good. So this is called a gate opener. We're opening up that hip. And let's go to the other side. About 5 rotations. Good. I'm going to put the PVC pipe in front of me. If you don't have one, just hold on to the wall. We're going to go across and up. Across and up. Good. And then other side. Across and up. You'll find out very quickly which leg is your strong one to stand on and which one is the more flexible one. There you go. All right, so using this again for balance, we're going to grab a hold. I have to switch my legs here. So grab a hold of one of your feet to do a quad stretch, and just pushing those hips forward, getting your balance. Stretching out the front of the leg here, the thigh, your quads, quadriceps. How many muscles are in your quadriceps? 4 maybe, right? Grab that other foot, push that knee to the ground. Awesome, hold it. Good, good, good. All right, we're gonna do one other thing here. So if you've got good balance in a lunge, then you can keep the PVC pipe in your hand. If you don't, just put it to the side. I'm gonna take a step forward with my right foot and drop my knee, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way down to the ground. I'm gonna bring that PVC pipe up overhead. So this is a nice stretch. Try to get this back leg super straight. Now guys, if you can't do this, you can put the PVC pipe here and maybe just for balance, hold the other arm up if you can, or if it's really tough, you can also drop your back knee. Okay, so we're just stretching out that hip. So wherever you feel that is fine. And let's switch legs. So I'm gonna go up overhead on this one. So don't let that back knee touch the ground right now. Good. This is a little bit more of a powerful lunge here. Awesome. Okay, so grab some water, and I'm going to teach you guys the movement known as the power clean. This is a weightlifting movement, as in Olympic weightlifting. Here's a quiz for you. Where is the sport of Olympic weightlifting actually practiced? Where do people win medals? Go think about it for a minute. Olympic weightlifting. At the Olympics! Right, so this is the only sport where athletes are competing up on a stage. One athlete goes at a time, and the goal is to get as much weight from the ground over your head. And so one of the lifts is called the clean and jerk. It actually has 2 components to it, and we're going to learn the first. The other component of this lift is called the other component of Olympic weightlifting is the snatch. And I will show you that later. So I'm going to show you what the clean looks like. Don't try to do this just yet if you've never done this. Okay, so I have my bar. I'm going to pretend I have some weights on it. I'm starting in what's known as almost like a deadlift position. I'm going to come up past my knees, and then I'm going to catch the bar on my shoulders. So a lot of people will do this and they think it's a bicep curl. which it's not, and that's what we're going to try to avoid. So I'll show you from the side. Okay, so let's put our PVC pipes down. We're going to spend maybe 3-4 minutes on this. So you don't need the PVC pipe for now. And I want you to stand with your hands, your feet directly under your hips. And it should be literally like, look where your pelvis is, find your pelvis, and your feet should be directly under your pelvis, okay? If I say under your hips, for those of you who might have a bit of booty fat, will stand out here because you think your hips are wider than they actually are. Find the bones, okay? Good. Now, I want you to look at where your feet are, and I want you to take one little foot width step out to the side, and then on the other side as well. Now, this position here, you should be able to come down into a squat. If you're too narrow, you won't be able to squat. If you're too wide, it'll be uncomfortable. Okay, so that is going to be where we're going to land. So we're going to start in starting or jumping position, and we're going to land in what's called position, right? Start, land, start, land. So this is really important, this footwork to get, and you can practice this. You don't need a PVC pipe. When I figured this out about 4 or 5, well, it'll be longer than that, maybe 8 years ago, it completely changed my life with lifting. So all I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to stand up straight, and I'm going to shuffle my feet out to the side, and I'm going to land in this strong, powerful pose. Now, this position here, this is called power position. This is where all athletic movement starts from, okay? My knees are slightly bent, my weight's in my heels, and I can like literally come and get you, right? So think about that starting position. So I'm going to stand up nice and straight. I'm going to maybe jump up a little bit. So jump and land. That's it. Jump and land. And now you can hear my feet stomping the ground. So don't be afraid to stomp the ground. It's important to be nice and strong in that landing. Jump and land. Good. So this position that we're landing in, power position, that's all we need for today. Eventually, we're going to go down a little lower and then eventually into a full squat. But we're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to jump and land. Awesome. Now, you're going to take your hands and you're going to take your thumbs and you're going to put your thumbs on your thighs and you're going to trace a line up to about your chest. And if you look here, guys, my elbows are above where my thumbs are, okay? So I'm like literally tracing my thumbs up my chest. From here, I want you to pretend like your elbows are like machine guns or laser guns, okay? And you're trying to shoot me, the camera, or maybe you have a buddy, that we're going to literally, the lasers are gonna come up and I'm gonna land like this with my elbows up nice and high so that I'm like literally shooting the camera. Okay, so it looked like this. Trace up and shoot. So imagine a game of quick draw and your elbows are your guns and you have to get your elbows up higher and faster than your neighbor. So you don't want them up here, you don't want them over here, because where are you trying to shoot? Straight forward, okay? So elbows, right the ends of the tips of the elbows shooting forward. So it's up and shoot. Up and shoot. Up and shoot. Good. Now, we're going to combine these two things. So we're going to jump and land, and as you land, that sound of your feet hitting the ground is your gun going off. So it's going to look like this. Up. Okay? So I'm tracing up as I come up, right about here, as my elbows are just nice and high. I bring my elbows up, and I shoot and land. Here we go. Up. Good. Up. One more. Up. Good. So we're going to take this now from the bottom. So we're going to bend our knees. Okay, we're going to bring our hands so that they're right on our shins, just below the knees. Make sure your back is straight here and your chest is facing up. We don't want to be bent over like this, so make sure your knees are bent and your chest is up. We're going to trace that line all the way up our legs with the thumb. When we get to here, we're going to come all the way up to the chest and do our landing position. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So I'm down, my hands are on my shins, my thumbs are on my shins. I'm coming all the way up and land. Okay, make sure that you're tracing your thumbs. Your thumbs should be like brushing your body. You don't want your hands way out here. So here we go again. Trace and up. Good. Grab your broomsticks and we're just gonna put this all together. So imagine you're doing the same thing. So I'm literally rowing this bar up to my chest and then landing, okay? So let's start from this position here. This is called the hang position. It's gonna come up and land. Good. Okay, we're gonna bend forward at the waist now and then bring that bar to the top of the knees. We're gonna come all the way up and land. Good, one more time. Down to the top of the knees, up and land. So what happens here when people get the bar in their hand is they start doing this. Okay, remember what I said, it's not a bicep curl. You want to bring that bar, row it up, and then come under your body. Let's try one more from this hang position. Top of the knees, coming all the way up and under. Good, let's go down now to the middle of the shins. So we're going to come up past the knees, trace it up. Good, let's do two more. All the way down, trace it up. One more. Now notice, guys, I am opening or extending my hips. Okay, we're gonna leave that. I just wanted to introduce that concept to you. And we're gonna move on to our glute series. And we will add on to that clean. We're gonna do it with dumbbells eventually. We can also do it with a PVC pipe. All right, so we have 50 glute bridges, 50 bird dogs, and 50 stationary lunges. So I'm gonna turn the music on, we're gonna lay on our backs, and we're gonna start with those glute bridges. And here we go. All right, so coming onto your back, put your flat on the floor, mark on the floor here, and we're going to lift the hips up 50 times. Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Squeeze the glutes. Really push up. Get that little extra push at the top. You guys are on your own time here, so this is not going to be fast. With control, doing this. I've done 10. You got 50. How about? Right about now, your butt should be burning. Okay, so we have 4 movements in our workout as well as butt kickers. So let me go over these movements with you. You're gonna need a PVC pipe, or if you have a kettlebell, you can use a kettlebell and or a dumbbell. I'm gonna show you all the variations. So the first movement is a sumo deadlift high pull. The word sumo implies the stance. Nice wide legs, hands are on your broomstick. Gonna hold this here. Now, one of the things I've seen people do is add like some jugs. If you're gonna do that with weight, just make sure they're taped, okay, so they don't go flying off the end, because there's like lots of accidents I'm seeing with those as well. Inside of your legs, you're gonna bring that bar to the middle of your shins. I'm in a sumo squat here. I'm coming up past the knees. Once I get past the knees, I'm accelerating and I'm pulling that bar into that, just under my chin with my elbows high. On the way down, I let it go. Keep my chest up the whole time. Okay, so you should feel this in your glutes and your inner thighs. From the side, guys, really keeping that bar close to you. Now, if you have a kettlebell, you can do a sumo deadlift high pull with your kettlebell. Same thing. Wide stance and up. Okay, same idea. Regardless of how you do it, please keep your back straight. Don't round your back, especially that happens on the way down. We want to avoid that. Second movement, push press. You can do this with your broomstick. This is very important. important. Pay attention here, guys. I do not want to see, I can't see you, but I don't want to see your elbows back here and you pushing forward. Our goal is to push that thing, the bar, over our head. So your elbows need to stay in front of the bar, squeezing the glutes, head comes back, pressing overhead. And it's called a push press because I'm adding a little dip. Okay, so you gotta move your chin out of the way. When you finish, I should be able to see your ears from the side. Now you could do this with your dumbbells too, or books, or soup cans, or whatever you have. You can hold it at your shoulder, do a little dip, and press overhead. If you have no equipment, that doesn't matter. You can still do it. Just put your thumbs, your hands on your shoulder, dip, and drive. Okay, so I always think the words dip, drive. So dip, drive, dip, drive. So it's like you're jumping for joy. Cool. Third movement, bent over row. Now, if you want to get fun and you have those weights on your PVC pipe or just your PVC pipe, you can bend over and pull up to my chest. Okay, my back is straight here. This is a pulling movement for the middle of the shoulders. I could, hypothetically, do this with my kettlebell. Okay, same idea. Or if you had two kettlebells, that would work too. I can do it also with 2 dumbbells, or 2 soup cans, or 2 books. It doesn't matter. Good. Last movement is the push-up. You guys should know the push-up, but I'll just review. So you're going to come onto your hands and your feet in a plank position. Hands are right by the shoulders, and we're pushing straight up into that plank. Now, you can do it from your knees. You can come up and then lift your knees. Drop the knees. Okay, so I want you to go through that plank so that you lift your knees off the ground because that's going to work your core. The last thing, 60 seconds. Actually, let's make it 60 butt kickers because the time is going to be different for everybody. So butt kickers are literally just bringing those heels to your butt 60 times. So we're going to do this 3 rounds. You guys will probably be at a different place than me. I'm just going to go at my pace. So you guys are going to give me a thumbs up when you're done. So then we can stretch out together. So once again, 20 sumo deadlift high pulls. 10 shoulder to overhead push press with a little dip. 20 bent over rows. Both arms are working at the same time. 10 push-ups. 60 butt kickers. So it'll be 30 per side. All right? Hopefully you guys are good. I'll start the music. I am not going to time this, but if you guys want to time it and post your times, you certainly can. All right, let's get this music started. All right. So, started. We all start together. That bar's going like this. Here we go. Squeeze them up. All hips, guys. Glutes. 60 total. Good. All right. I'm going to do this round with my kettlebell. Sumo deadlift high pull. Now if you had one dumbbell, you could also do it with the dumbbell. Doesn't matter. 20 high pulls. Use your hips. I am on push press. Use my dumbbells this time. Nice. All right, I'm on bent over rows.
Two, one, drop it.
10 push-ups. I'm on my butt kickers. 60. Awesome, guys. Okay, last round for me. I'm just gonna turn this music up. I don't know why it got so quiet there. There we go. All right, last round. Sumo deadlift high pull. Whatever implement you have, pop those hips.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
Use your glutes, not just your arms. It's burning in your arms. You're probably not using your legs enough. Awesome. Push press, dumbbells, hands, books, bar, whatever you have. Dip and drive. Awesome, you guys. I'm on my last set of bent over rows. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. If you feel it up here in your traps, try to relax those traps. Push your shoulder blades back and down. I got 5 more. The last set of push-ups. Awesome. break and repeat. Heels to butt. Guys, give me a thumbs up. Obviously on YouTube, I don't know. Give me a second, I like this song, I'm gonna keep dancing. Cooling it down. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off. Start my little dance party here. Joe. Okay, so how was that, guys? Like I said, if you were not using with that, you might have found it a little easy, but that's okay. Like, we gotta get used to movements. So like I said, one thing you can do with a broomstick is get yourself some containers like that have handles on them, and you can literally like fill the containers with as much or as little water as you want, and just like secure them onto your bar so they make like weights, right? So you can actually do like, you could do deadlifts and all kinds of things with them. Again, just make sure they're secure so they don't fall all over the place. Okay, let's just do a quick stretch and cool down. Bring your right leg forward, stretch out your hips. Good, so I'm just in a runner's lunge here, stretching out the front of my hips. Awesome. And then we'll come back onto that knee and stretch out the hamstring by flexing that front leg. And again here, guys, if you need to put your hand on the floor, that's fine. Just pushing those hips back. Holding that stretch. Good, let's take the other leg forward now for runner's lunge on this side, stretching out that other hip. And then coming back onto that knee and flexing that front foot for hamstring stretch. Awesome. Let's stand up, take your legs nice and wide, stretch out those inner thighs a little bit. So coming over to the right side, getting that nice stretch through the front or the middle of your leg there. And switch sides. Good stuff. We'll do the standing number 4 stretch or standing glute stretch. So you're going to cross one leg over. If you need a wall or something to hold on to, please grab that. Sitting back. Remember, you can also do this sitting on a chair. Good. Pushing those hips back. I'm seeing a couple of dones in the comment. That's awesome. Way to go, guys. And switch legs. And sitting back, stretching those hips out with the glutes. Good stuff. Let's stand nice and tall. Bring one hand up overhead, reaching over, getting a nice stretch to the side and the lats. You worked that back a lot today with those pulling movements. Other side. Good, and take your hands, interlace them, push them out in front of you, and really round that upper back to get a nice stretch through your back. And then grab your hands and stretch out your chest. Awesome, just big arm circles backwards. Let it all go. Breathe. Let's make some head circles one way. and other way. Do my signature move, our 3 deep breaths, just to really calm everything down. So breathing in through the belly, through the nose, and out through the mouth. And again, in and out. And last one, break breath in and let it out. And then give yourself a pat on the back, guys, and a big hug. Congratulations, way to go. Bye-bye.